This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. It is 6:23. And if you ever thought of canning but didn't know where to begin, well, we have you covered. We have Jennifer Mayfield with us here this morning from the University of Missouri Extension Office to kind of walk us through the process, right?
Right. This morning we're going to be doing some blueberry jelly.
Okay.
It's blueberry spice actually.
Ooh.
So the things that you don't need a pressure canner, you just need a water bath canner. And inside your water bath canner is going to be the basket, and this is what you'll set your jars down in.
Okay.
And then you need, this is a great little package you can get at Walmart. It's less than $7. It gives you everything you need. This will help get your stuff in safely.
No mess.
No mess. This is actually a fantastic tool because you have to heat your jars to sterilize them, and you have to heat your lids. These will be in boiling water. And so instead of like trying to mess with forks or something, you pull it out, and then it goes right onto your lid, and you don't have to you barely have to touch it to get it on. So,
and you said this all comes in a kit.
Yes, all of this comes in a kit.
What is this?
Also, this is when you want to bring your jars out of the boiling water and set them down. Again, you don't have to try to burn yourself. This is fantastic because we're going to use this in just a little bit. When our blueberries get done, you use the bottom of this to go through and get the bubbles out, but then you use this part to measure to make sure you have the right amount at the top.
Okay.
Wow.
You have to have lid space. You have to have so much space. And then for the blueberry jam, we need blueberries. So I have the blueberries in the pot.
Okay.
Lemon juice, sugar, pectin, of course, and then nutmeg or cinnamon. I use a combination of both.
Okay.
And then also, for the viewers, the University of Missouri Extension website has every single one of these. Everything you want to can, whether it's meat, seafood, vegetables, fruits. Guidelines are all there.
Okay.
We even have, I'm leaving this with you, before you start to can, learn the basics. So there's a whole packet on the university's website.
Perfect.
I'm also leaving with you a list of things that you know, just in case something doesn't look right and you need to do something else, these will be right there for you as well.
Perfect. And we know that this is a long process, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back and then we're going to actually start the next process, right? Okay. Right. And if you're just joining us this morning, Jennifer Mayfield from the University of Missouri Extension Office is showing us how to properly can food. And during our first hit, you showed us the products that we'll need, right?
Right.
So now what's our next step?
Well, the next step, and the one thing I forgot, is a timer. You want to make sure that you have, this is mine, it's that you have a timer, because timing is really, really important. So right now what I've been doing is cooking the blueberries, and I'm going to continue to cook this mixture down. I've put the spice in, the water, the lemon juice, and the sugar. I'm going to cook this down some more, and then I'll add the box of pectin.
Okay.
And also I'm going to be boiling my jars, getting them ready, sterilizing them. I'll also be boiling my lids.
Okay.
Because again, you don't want to sterilize them. You can stick these in an oven on 200 degrees.
Okay.
And while you're getting everything else ready, and that will sterilize them, you're still going to put the lids in to boil. But if you want to boil them, you fill this about 6 inches from the top, and you can put it on your burner, get it to boil, set your jars in there, and they can be boiling while you're getting everything else ready.
Okay.
But it is really important to have everything out and around you, so that you're not running all over the place trying to gather everything. And again, the timer is really important, because as soon as you set those jars down in there, you're going to put this timer on so that it's pretty exact.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to be doing right now, is just continuing to break these down, because your blueberries want to be, you want to get this really mashed up.
Okay.
So that's what I'm continuing to do, is mash.
And how long does this take roughly?
The cooking them down can take about 15-20 minutes.
Okay. And you would be doing this over the stovetop, right?
Over the stovetop, yes.
But of course, since we don't have one in the studio, that's why we're doing it here right now. So pretend it's on a stovetop. Right.
So I'll just continue to do this, and in the last segment, we will actually, I'll show filling the jars, because with jam, if you don't get, when you're pouring it in, you want to get it at the lid, or else you can get bubbles, which bubbles are not a big deal. But
what happens if you do get bubbles? Do you have to start out, like, do you have to pour it out, or
no?
Okay.
No, it just, you know, some people look at that and think there's something wrong with it, and really there's not. Now, if the bubbles are inside and they're moving, then that means you have a problem. It's spoiled. But getting bubbles is real easy to happen, because you know, one way to get the bubbles out also is we're going to do this. I'll show you how to do that, and making sure that you have the right amount of lid length. So
all right,
we'll do that next.
Okay. And if you're just joining us, Jennifer Mayfield has been walking us through the process of properly canning food, and we're down to our final steps, correct?
Correct.
So what are we going to do now?
So normally the blueberries have cooked down. These are still kind of whole, but we're going to think that they are cooked down.
Okay.
And the pectin is in.
Do you need me to hold this for you?
If you, that would be great. Okay. And so we're just going to pour it in.
Okay.
And the important thing is, I'm started out little, and I got too much because my jars are tiny. Okay. Because head space is really important. So I'm going to pour some out. I'm going to measure, because you want, with jam, 1/4 of an inch head space.
So, and then on this, which you can't see on the camera, is there's actually markers with...
Right. So I can put a little bit more in, because there's 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. Because headspace is really important as far as getting a good product and getting a safe product. Okay, that's pretty good. So you want to you definitely want to wipe the rim, because that's going to help give a good seal.
Okay.
So you just wipe the rim. Now,
again,
these have been boiling.
Right.
And so you're just going to tap the lid. And when you don't want to tighten them all the way. You just want to give a good, like that.
Okay, just to make sure it's closed, but not tightly sealed.
Yeah, you're not sealing it. Okay. So then you're going to take your jar and you're going to set it down into your rack. Okay. And then you'll just keep filling the jars and set them in the rack. And you want about 6 inches from the top of the water. And this is going to boil. Okay. And the boiling period for this is about 10-15 minutes. And like I said, you want to set your little timer so that it's absolutely correct. And then when you're taking them out, this is really important. You'll have a towel or something that you can set your hot jars on. Right. And so what you want to do is you just want to take it out. And there might be some water on top. And a lot of people will want to tip that over and get that water off. But don't do anything with it. Just set it down. Okay. And walk away. Okay. For 24 hours. For 24 hours. Wow. So you don't want to put it in the refrigerator or anything? No. You don't want to touch it, because if you do, then you got to use it immediately. Oh, so you want that seal to be nice and tight and solid, so don't touch it. The water will dry off and all of that will be fine. But yeah, just walk away and don't touch it for 24 hours.
Okay. Is there anything that we would notice after the time's up, like knowing that it's time to take it out, or just you got to depend on that timer?
You got to depend on that timer.
Okay.
Now another question. Go ahead.
Every recipe, everything you do will have an exact amount of time to boil.
Okay. Which is very important.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Now, is there anything that, like, say, you know, we open this, is there anything that we need to look for to know that it's spoiled or it didn't process correctly or all the way through? Yeah, there will be, like I said, if there's, you know, bubbles moving inside, that's a sign of spoilage.
Obviously, if you sometimes discoloration can be a sign of spoilage or a sign, and it is possible if you get it filled, it is possible to go back and reprocess it. You just go through the steps again, and it is possible to do that without wasting it. Okay. So that's a good way. And it's there's a blueberry farm close by. I can't remember the name. But I understand the blueberries are fabulous, and preserving is a great way to save money. Absolutely. It's a fantastic gift. Right. That's what I'll be doing for gift baskets. You know, this year is you know, when you to me that just says a little more. Right. You put time into it, you put effort, and Again, saving money right now, especially in this economy, is really important for families and
my
people.
grandma makes jelly all the time, and when she gives me it, I love it. So
yeah,
it's a great present.
It is. It's fantastic, and again, it can save people money, and that's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
And canning is pretty popular now. If somebody like myself who's never canned before, and like we can can everything from pickles to, like you said, to jelly to meat to everything. Is there something that you would recommend? Would you recommend starting off with jelly because it is easier?
I would. Jelly and salsa.
Ooh, yeah.
Salsa is super easy. Again, you only need a water bath canner. You don't have to have a pressure cooker. People love salsa. They love homemade salsa.
Myself included.
That's why you can make it your own. So if you like it really spicy or not as spicy,
perfect.
It's fantastic. So yeah, I would start out with those two.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we'll go ahead and post the recipe along with a link to the University of Missouri's Extension Office guidelines to canning food. And right